Beautiful song. Thanks for your company this morning. There is growing confusion and concern over Donald Trump's health this morning, with White House officials giving mixed messages about his real condition. Overnight, the president's doctor suggested he could leave hospital despite now being treated with a steroid usually given to patients with severe symptoms. Meantime, his fan base keeps growing outside that hospital. To discuss, I'm joined by Northern Territory Senator Mullingirri McCarthy and the Daily Telegraph's political editor Anna Caldwell. So much to talk about. Mullingirri, a US president in hospital battling a potentially deadly virus in the middle of a crucial election campaign. Wow.
Yeah, look, certainly it's very concerning, absolutely, Carl, as anyone who's experiencing COVID will be able to tell us. And certainly we've seen so many deaths right across the world in relation to COVID. So naturally he's receiving, no doubt, one of the highest kind of care that he can. But it is concerning, given that he is the President of the United States.
Gee, people have come out of the woodwork, haven't they, over the weekend? They've been pretty savage on him.
Big time. And, you know, we heard just weeks ago the families who lost over, you know, there's over 200,000 people that they lost in the US, and some of those families were very angry at the way the president had not assisted them. So you're going to see all kinds of views being made, but ultimately at the end of the day you do want people to get better, and we certainly hope the president does get better.
Good on you, Senator. Anna, looks like his heartland, if we're judging by those pictures outside of the hospital where he is, has had a heart start. I mean, they've been very motivated in the last couple of days. It might be what he needed.
Well, that's right. I mean, they've been very supportive. The scenes are just stunning outside of the hospital, but really I think it's impossible to predict at this stage the impact that this will have on the presidential campaign. You know, I think the next 48 hours for Donald Trump are really critical. And as you say, Carl, the messages that have been coming out of the White House medical team have been very confusing. You know, the steroid that he has been put on that we've learnt about, you know, just this morning, obviously is usually reserved for serious, you know, moderate to serious cases, which doesn't quite match up with the idea that he's getting better. You know, we don't know if he's been given that steroid because he's the President of the United States, or if he's been given it because his case is worse than what we believe.
Check that out, folks. It's just, that's the crowds. Almost like a festival atmosphere growing outside that hospital in Maryland. There's literally thousands and thousands of Trump supporters. They have been certainly motivated by this, and it may well be something that he needed to charge up his campaign, but incredible scenes there. OK, let's move on. Billions of dollars in personal income tax cuts could be backdated. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg expected to make the announcement as part of tomorrow's federal budget. Mullingirri, instant tax relief, good news, will you back them?
Oh, look, Labor's always said that we've been concerned about tax relief for the high end of town, Carl, and we're looking at details now. We need to see the details, which is obviously what's going to happen this week. But can I just say that in terms of the budget overall, we do need to make sure that Australians right across this country have a sense of their future and job prosperity. And at the moment there are concerns because of the cutbacks that we're going to see with JobSeeker and JobKeeper.
Well, Labor won't back tax cuts to the high end of town, will they?
Well, we've said that in the past that we wouldn't do that, and obviously what we have to see now is what the details are, and those details haven't come out yet, so we can let you know when we see that. OK,
and how do you think that'll go down in the public?
Look, I think that at the moment the public's most interested in spending money being spent to stimulate the economy. I know Labor has taken issue with those top end of town tax cuts, but in fact they did back them last year because they couldn't be separated in the legislation. So whether they find themselves in that position again remains to be seen. But the reality is, yes, the debt is going to be eye-watering.
It's not that bad. It's only blowing out a little bit.
The debt? We're just getting to a casual $1.3 trillion in debt.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1.1 trillion.
Yeah, that's right.
The ceiling's gone up. I mean, you have to pay it back at some point.
You do, but debt is cheap at the moment. I mean that's the truth. I would rather see them borrowing money than making cuts and slowing the economy in other places. Yeah.
Mullingirri, what do you feel about that ceiling being increased?
Oh, look, there's a couple of things I just want to say, Carl, because I think that we've got to ask what is it, where is it going to be taken from? I mean, things have to still be moved from somewhere to lift somewhere else. And one of the areas that I certainly look at is, say, in the Northern Territory, they've been talking about having the cashless debit card roll out across the Northern Northern Territory. We've got people who are on the community development program, 30,000 Australians. Where is the support for them to keep going? And I think we really do need to understand what is the government doing here? Is this just marketing spin? What's the details, and can we really drill down into it?
Okay, well, what the Treasurer is saying is that the only way out of this is jobs, jobs, jobs. Do you think
that's all well and good, but
Yeah.
we've been saying that, say, for example, with the community development program across Australia, we've been wanting jobs, 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 and people having paid sick leave, the annual leave, superannuation, all of these things. We have to make sure that there are conditions with it, and these are the really important details that Labor will be having a good look at.
Okay, Anna, I mean, this budget has been very well leaked. I mean, is there anything left?
There's got to be something left. They always keep something up their sleeve, but I agree, we do certainly know a lot about it so far.
Okay, and in terms of that job policy, do you think the public buy that?
I think it's the most important thing. I do think the public will buy that, because we have been hit with these horrific job losses, and jobs and investment really are our only pathway out of this.
Well, the Prime Minister is definitely, judging by the weekend, keeping his options open with life after politics. Take a look at this. ScoMo the handyman. The Prime Minister channeling his inner Scotty Cam at the weekend, building a new chicken coop for his wife Jenny and the girls. The girls have wanted one for some time. Mullindiri. There is a huge controversy though brewing over this. They're going to call it Lodge Ladies and name the little chickens after former Prime Ministers' wives. Now, I think it's funny, but a lot of people don't.
Well, I reckon you should have had some of the former Minister's wives maybe make a comment, those that can anyway, and their families. I think that'd be interesting. In fact, we'll probably see more of that on social media anyway, Carl. That seems to be where all the conversations are going these days. So,
yes, indeed. Anna, Julie's partner, Tim Matheson, he's going to be lumped in with the ladies, the First Ladies. Is that sexist?
I don't know. Does he get to be a rooster? I'm not sure. I agree. The real yarn here would 1,000% be the fly on the wall conversation between Lucy and Malcolm Turnbull when this chook policy was announced. Surely Lucy would have preferred a new portrait or something as tribute rather than
a chicken.
Yeah,
and then one gets sent to Char Grill Charlie's every week. It's like it's like Survivor, the chicken coop. I love it. Have a great week, ladies, and best of luck with the budget this week too. It'll be fun.
Thanks, Carl. See you.
Head this out.